Our family ranch has stood strong on Texas soil since 1893. 5 generations have worked that land, raised cattle, and sat on the same porch watching the sun drop behind mesquite trees. My grandpa, Henry Wallace, still lives there. At 84, he's slower but sharp as a boot spur and fiercely protective of our land. So imagine my rage when I returned from a 2-month out-of-state law enforcement training program to find an eviction notice duct taped to his barn. Not just a letter, a bright red final notice from the Crescent Hills Homeowners Association. There was just one problem. We don't belong to any HOA. The Wallace Ranch sits 40 acres outside the Crescent Hills development. Their cookie-cutter homes with white vinyl fences had slowly crept closer over the years, but our land was never part of their jurisdiction. Grandpa had refused every offer, every incentive to join the HOA. He didn't care about neighborhood pool passes or approved fencing standards. He cared about his cattle, his land, and his quiet. Turns out, the HOA had filed a bogus complaint with the county while I was gone, claiming our ranch had become an unauthorized structure encroaching upon shared community lands. Total nonsense. They cited an ancient land survey that didn't even include the current county lines. And who spearheaded this little stunt? Darla Beaumont, Crescent Hills HOA president, and local tyrant in designer heels. She'd seen Grandpa as an obstacle to her master plan to develop hiking trails and luxury condos that would elevate the area's appeal. Apparently, an old ranch and a cranky cowboy didn't fit her vision. Well, what she didn't know was that her timing couldn't have been worse. See, while she was trying to push Grandpa off our land with fake paperwork and intimidation tactics, I'd just become the new county sheriff, sworn in a week before I returned home. When I pulled up the drive and saw Grandpa sitting on the porch, hands shaking over that red-lettered eviction threat, I promised him, she picked the wrong family. The next morning, in full uniform, badge gleaming in the sun, I walked straight into the Crescent Hills HOA office with a copy of our deed, county zoning maps, and a cease and desist order in hand. Darla's smirk dropped the second she saw me. "I'd like to report a criminal act," I said, laying the documents on her desk. "Falsifying legal complaints, trespassing, and harassment of a senior citizen." Her jaw dropped. "You're law enforcement? I'm the sheriff, and you're about 2 steps from obstruction." Turns out, Darla had forged signatures on the complaint to make it look like there was consensus from her board. 3 board members had no idea any action had been taken. I called them in, laid out the documents, and by noon, Darla had been voted out as HOA president. That was just the beginning. The county launched a full audit into the HOA's finances, especially related to their failed attempts to acquire surrounding properties. Several developers pulled out of pending deals once they realized Crescent Hills was facing legal heat. Meanwhile, I installed "No Trespassing" sheriff's family property signs around the entire perimeter of our ranch. Grandpa? He's back to tending his garden, whittling wood, and sipping sweet tea like nothing happened. Only now he chuckles when he sees a Crescent Hills dog walker steer clear of the fence. Last week, I asked if he was worried they'd try again. He looked up from his rocking chair and said, "Son, I ain't worried. Not with the law sleeping in the next room." Darn right.